Hey guys, I'm Timothy Jones, and today we are at Heaps Peak Arboretum. I'm going on a hike with Marla today. We have our backpack, we have our snacks, we're prepared, we have our compass, we have all of our safety measures covered. So why don't you guys join us and let's go check out this hike.
So, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and what prompted you to do hidden hikes.
Well, my dad exposed us to the outdoors growing up, fishing, hunting, all those type of activities, riding bikes. So we were constantly outside. But then when I got older and got involved with entertainment, I got invited to a meeting at PBS for a totally different project. And when I got there, I met the head of television, Christy Cooper. And she told me, I think you'd be perfect for this outdoor show. And, you know, the more we talked about it, she told me she already had a female host. She wanted a male host. And she intentionally, because Christy is African American, she wanted 2 African Americans specifically on this outdoor show because, in her own words, we don't see that a lot and we don't see it enough.
Right.
And so she said, if you turn on Nat Geo and the Discovery Channel and all the other outdoor channels, you don't see African Americans outside. And she said, we like to go outside, we like to swim, we like to fish. And so she asked me about my background. I told her, and she hired me on the spot. And we walked out of her office and she called all the producers out and she said, hey guys, I found my co-host for Hidden Hikes. This is Timothy Jones. So that's how that started.
So, how can we bring these conversations to the forefront? Because right now, you know, we're talking about it and we know that there's people in our groups of influence that discuss it. How can we be like strong proponents of getting our people outdoors and getting healthy and exercising?
Well, I'll be honest with you because I have daughters, 20 years old and one is almost 18. I think we can start with social media because we promote everything else. We promote the food we eat. We'll take a picture of our burrito with extra cheese on our frijoles con queso, and you know, we're promoting what we're eating. I think that every now and then we need to post. My daughters are very big on posting, you know, Black Lives Matter, Asian lives. They're very big on people are important. And if something's going on with a violation of someone being killed or violated, my daughters are all over social media. We got to be equally as concerned about nature, and we also have to be equally as vocal. And we can start with our social media platform. We got LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. If you're going to TikTok a pop lock, how about you TikTok you're behind walking outside?
Absolutely.
You know
I like that. I like that. So, are you a forager? Like, do you like to go out and forage and identify plants and try different plants that you?
No. I will with someone else who is familiar. That's another thing I learned on Hidden Hikes. My co-host was Iris Hill. She was a zoologist. And so there would be times that kids would be about to touch something and she'd say, don't touch it, that's poison oak. So you better know your plants before you start foraging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm from the country. I'm from Arkansas originally.
Okay.
And the only thing I would forage is honeysuckles.
See, that's different. I would do that because you were familiar with it and you told me to.
Right.
But I don't think I would recognize a honeysuckle if I saw it.
Okay, if we see one on the hike, I'll point it out.
Sure, and if you eat it, I'll eat it.
Okay. All right, so let's go see if we can identify some honeysuckles.
I'm good.
All right. So, what's your favorite trail here in Southern California?
Ooh-wee. This is one of my favorites because of all of the visual. I mean, look at that. Like, it's a picturesque setting, the birds. It's not the arduous. I like that when I want to do that. This one's peaceful. This is a very peaceful hike, so I love Heaps Peak. Another one would be the Heart Rock Trail. And that takes us all off into the mountains. But when you get to the destination, the water that flooded at one point flooded so hard that it beat into the rock and there's a heart shape. Like nobody carved
Where's
it.
that one located?
That's about 20 minutes from here.
We're gonna have to get on that one because I would
like
love to see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But look at this.
This is beautiful. This is what it looked like in Blue Ridge.
Really?
Yeah, when I was there, the right behind the house,
Mhm.
actually, we had a nice little slope, and then it was trees. So my last question on this part of our hike is coming out of COVID. Things are opening back up. People are a little bit more relaxed. What would you recommend they do? You know, those are who are interested in going out and hiking. What do you recommend that they do to prepare themselves for a hike if they haven't gone out in a while or if
Absolutely.
they're not well versed in hiking?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that they need to visit the website of the trail that they're interested in, because every trail, the degree of the incline varies. Like, we're on a very flat surfaced hike today, but for those that are going to consider going on a hike, they need to do their research. And consider, if you haven't been on a hike or you're not really in great shape, don't start with one of those mountains, and pass out at the top of the hill to impress everybody so you can take a flick for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Find one that is conducive to you. If you're going to take your children, this is a very kids-friendly hike.
Yeah.
The Children's National Forest, very kid-friendly. You also need to be prepared with a backpack like you have on today, with water, with non-perishable snacks. It's very important that you take a compass with you, because you can get lost. Even though this trail is not that lengthy, you still want to be prepared, just in case. The flashlight. Make sure your phone is charged up, completely. There are little things that have to be checked off the list so that you know that you have peace of mind. And tell people where you're going as well.
And I have a first aid kit with PJ Masks Band-Aids in it.
Boom! We need the Band-Aid and some hot, what is it called, alcohol and peroxide. You need that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, shall we go and continue to look for this honeysuckle bush?
Oh, child, because I'm ready to taste it.
All right, let's go. So back on the injustice conversation that we had, a few meters back.
Mm-hmm.
What have you experienced racism, against you?
Mm-hmm.
What was your first experience like when you had that overt racism?
Well, it was a lot of subtle things as a child, but then like the first overt experience with racism was actually in private school, where it was predominantly white children.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things, to answer your question about coping, was music. Music is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And like now with my daughters, they have such a diverse palette. They listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
But hip hop saved me. Hip hop gave me a sense of identity. Hip hop told me I was beautiful and I was black and I was special. Everything from Public Enemy to NWA to Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J. And I saw.
You naming all the greats.
Child, I saw that music taught me, that hip hop specifically taught me that I was special,
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't. And that way, when I got to school, it was like, man, whatever, what you talking about? Because the girls would say, can I touch your hair if I had the Gumby? Oh, it's so poofy. Whatever y'all talking about, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
My hair is fly, I'm fly. And, I had to start gaining confidence, and hip hop gave me that confidence.
So, you talk about the food aspect of being healthy in the outdoors. How can we get back to that self-sustaining model that our ancestors lived off of the land?
Yeah. I honestly think, and my brother's got a beautiful garden right now, I think we can start with a garden. That's my suggestion, because everybody's not ready to go get some chickens and, and raise them and chop the head off and cook it. All the vegan world and the PETA world, everybody's just not ready for that. But I do think we can start with a garden. My brother has cabbage in his garden, all the spices. I cooked steaks for them 2 weeks ago, and I got all the rosemary out of the garden. He has tomatoes, okra, cucumbers. We can start with, and it's therapeutic to go out there and check on it every day and pull the weeds. You get off from work, no more email, no TV. I don't want to talk to anybody right now. Let me go out there and check on my okra. Let me go check on my tomatoes. I think that it's like beneficial, therapeutic, and healthy. And when I tell you, and I'm not putting extra on it, when I tell you that the guy's salad is delicious because everything snaps. The cucumbers snap. The rosemary, when he walked in the house, we all smelled it. What is that? That's the fresh rosemary from the garden. I think we should all have a garden. You can start even with an apartment. Start with a couple of things. There's no excuse.
Well, we're moving into our new house, and I finally have grass in my backyard. So
Okay.
I do plan to start my garden.
And just like I'm taking you and your husband to the 40 acres, I hope we get an invitation to have dinner at your new house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to come by and do the drive-by birthday party.
Boom, there it is. This is the actual end of the trail. That's when the cobblestone starts. And all the trail guides that people use, first-time families, you know, that get a chance to see all of the descriptors, that goes back in here as opposed to throwing it out like we just talked about a moment ago. Pack it in, pack it out.
Pack it in, pack it out.
Conservation.
Ow.